Okay, so this section of notes is distributing with exponents. We're just trying to remember one exponent rule that's pretty important. Shout out to my A block class, who we are making this video with. And the rule that we want to remember is to keep the blank, add the blank. What are we trying to do? We're trying to keep the base and add the exponents. Okay, good. So what we want to do is just use the distributive property with exponents, okay? So basically, we're just going to use the distributive property, but we're going to use exponent properties. So 2 times 2x, what's that? 4x. And 2 times 1? So 4x plus 2 is our answer. How about 3n times n? 3n times n. What's n times n? 3n times n. Oh, 3a times a. 3a to the second. We add a times a is a to the second minus 3a. Does that make sense? Let's go. We're going to skip around a little bit. Let's make sure we do the easy ones first. So this green loop and then this blue loop. The green loop is x times 2x. What's that? 2x to the second, 2x squared. And then the next loop is x times 2, which is 2x. Okay, making sense? So let's go to 4. Negative 3n times 5 is negative 15n. Negative 3n times negative 2n is 6n to the second power. N times n is n to the second power. That's all we're really doing. We're just using the distributive property with exponents, because pretty soon we're going to have to take this to another level, do some crazy things, breaking down intense things like this, like these answers. So we want to be able to do this backwards, honestly. We want to be able to do this so good that we can do it backwards. That's eventually what we're going to do. 4z times z to the second, what's that? Yes? 4z cubed, 4z to the third, that's correct. Minus 4z times 2z. Negative 8z to the second. Because there's one z here and there's one z there, you got to multiply the z times z, which is z squared. Okay, we have 3 times 8y cubed, which is 24y cubed. 3 times 3, which is 9. Does this make some sense? Yeah. Let's try to do a couple on our own, okay? So I'm just going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to ask you to try and do 14 and 15 on your own. Good luck, and I'll see you in just a moment. So again, we're pausing the video, and we're trying numbers 14 and 15 on our own. Okay, so look at the answers that you have, that you just did on the video, and I want you to see if you got these answers. Here are the correct answers. The answer to number 14 is negative 8x squared plus 28x to the third. This is negative 30y plus 10y squared. Those are the answers we're looking for on 14 and 15. How did it go? Good, I'm hoping. Okay? Perfect. Go ahead with it. Okay, so we have a question coming on 14. So the question is about how does this go to the third power? We have 4x times 7x squared. X times x squared is x to the third. That's why it's to the third power. So the 4 times 7 is 28, and x to the first times x to the second is x to the third. Make sense? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's just think about that for a second. Okay, so lastly, let's see. Oh, perfect. I got it back. Okay, excellent. So we're going to go through 19 and 20. So on 19, we wanted to go ahead and multiply 2 times 9, which is 18. X to the third and x to the second, we add 3 and 2. We add the exponents. Whoops. That's to the fifth power. And now we want to go ahead and do this one, which is 2 times 5, which is 10. X to the third and y, we don't really know. We can't combine them. So it's just x to the third y. Okay, go ahead, a question? What was it? Yeah, so the reason that happened is because we took 2 and multiplied it by 5. The 2 here times the 5. And then the x to the third, and then the y. Let's look at the next one, which is number 20. Okay, number 20. We have 5x to the third times 2x. So 5x to the third times 2x. What is that? 10x to the fourth. Good. And now we have 5x to the third times 4y. 5x to the third times 4y. What's that? 20x to the third y. Does that make some sense? Okay, good. So that is sort of what we're doing. Why don't you flip over to the back? Let's see how that goes. So this shows you a little bit of how to distribute with exponents. Take a minute and just read that over. So again, what we're learning is just the distributive property like normal. Right? This is okay. Oops, sorry. The distributive property as we always have done. But we're using exponents now in this. So we know how to do this. Gives that. All good. 5 times this. We're okay with the distributive property. So let's look at this one. More complicated expressions. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 is 3x. 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x. And then 4x times 5x is 20x squared. Everybody okay with this? Yeah. So let's just keep doing a few examples. We're going to go to these products here real quick. So find the product. Why don't you pause the video, and if you're comfortable, try numbers 1 and 2. Okay, so try numbers 1 and 2 if you feel comfortable with it. So again, what we're doing is negative v squared times 2v, so negative 1 times 2. It's negative 2v to the third. Negative times a negative is a positive 7. V to the second. Make sense? How about the next one? What's the answer to the next one? Who wants to tell me? Go ahead, Nathan. Oh, I see. Thank you. I'll get you one right away. Straight away. Okay, so moving to the next one. Aiden, why don't you help me out with this next one? So we need to do negative 7x times negative 3x. Yeah. What happens when I multiply those? Negative 7x times negative 3x.
21x to the second.
You are correct. That's the answer. So 21x to the second. My apologies. So 21x to the second. And then we need to multiply this. Negative 7 times negative 6. X. Negative 7x times negative 6. So what's that? 42x. Because there's an x here, of course, right? Okay, looking at the next one. Go ahead, Aubrey. Tell us what we got. Yep. Perfect. Okay, another volunteer for the next one.
Sean,
go ahead, Nick. Yep, exactly. And another volunteer, somebody else?
Sean
Easy. What else we got? George?
I got 30K and then negative 24.
I also agree with that one, so that's also good. Okay, so that's really all this video is about, just learning how to distribute with exponents and see if you can get that down. So that's all we have. I'm going to end it there. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.